It takes immense courage and a healthy dose of madness to put an end to what is potentially a financially stable life to pursue your real calling. While following one's passion comes at a high price for a lot of people, for some, all it takes is taking the leap, breaking the clutter, and being a change maker. The Makers brings to you stories of such people from across the country who took the road less traveled.
We always believe that why sell the beer just for the heck of selling it. So it was all about
Organic growth.
Yeah, organic growth. We never pushed. We used to always believe. We believed in the quality that we produced.
I started out with engineering of one kind, and I did a master's in a different kind, and then I started working in finance. And I was always very hands-on as a person as well. I used to do home brewing at home, and I always used to try out new things. Even though craft beer had already sort of, I think, started at a very nascent stage, maybe in 2015, when Bira came about with his first beer that was not a lager in the sense in the market. That was just the beginning, right? Because even me, when I was living in the US, I was in San Diego for about 4 years, where just that one city had almost 100 different breweries. So when I just compared the two markets, I mean, India was about 20 years behind the US, just in terms of the kind of beers that are available. So just having 2-3 brands, have 2-3 additional styles of beer, in my opinion, was not justified for craft. It was like just a scratch in the whole universe of things that was to come. And we were like that, okay, yeah, maybe people in India have started considering like, okay, there's a lot of brands coming, but that was a very small vision of the bigger industry that is yet to come. So even if you look at the styles of beer we've come out with, there is basically no, except for our Belgian launch with a Belgian style wheat beer, none of the other beers have ever been made in India ever before in a bottle format. And we plan to keep doing that, keep coming out with beers that have just never been made, because we have taken on this challenge as a company to create products which people don't know about, educate them on it, and convince them to like it and drink it. So like Anish was saying, education is a huge component of our thing, and we take that as a challenge. So we don't want to keep bringing out beers that other people are making. We want to make beers that probably don't even exist in this world today, because like wine or like any other product, there's endless possibilities and combinations you can do and keep innovating in the front. And like today also around the world, every day, every other day, a new beer is being discovered, and not just because of mixing different things, but because of science and research. There's so many new enzymes and strains of yeast and ingredients that are just coming every day, so your possibilities keeps becoming more and more endless. I'm constantly studying the market, seeing what people are consuming, what's happening in the market, understanding what people's needs are, and how we can make those meet those needs. And then I go to him, and then he comes up with a technical solution as to how to produce it, how to make it taste good, and how to have everyone love the product. So I think that's where our dynamic comes into play, where I do the first half and then he does the second half of the work.
So to teach our consumers how we are different from the other products that are available, and how we can replicate products that are available internationally within India as well, from the resources that we have.
We first make the recipe, then we see which ingredient is best in which part of the world and get it from there. It could be maybe in Goa, or it could be across the globe. So like for example, our oranges are from Valencia in Spain, our lemons are from Sicily in Italy, our honey is from Jim Corbett National Park. So our grains are from all over Europe, our hops are from the US, Europe, and Australia, or different parts of the world. So every ingredient has been thought about to ensure that the product is just as good as it can get. And of course, we believe in always getting things from as close by as possible too, because today to support your local community. But wherever what is best is the most important to us.
The whole point of using natural ingredients, completely good quality ingredients to make our product, that was the whole ideology we based it on.
Goa is located in center of, I would say, almost 4 important beer markets, massive beer markets. One is Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, and Bangalore. So there are 4 really large cities where people really appreciate craft and high quality products. So beer being a voluminous, heavy product, transportation is a huge factor. So being in the center of those 4 cities was a very important move to ensure our logistic costs are optimized being in a city like Goa. And Goa in itself is a discovery market, right? Today, the whole country comes to Goa at least once a year for vacation. So today, making Goa your home ground basically means that just selling in your own state, you're enabling the world to see your product.
It was more like a showcase for us. It's like everyone, the regulations are very strict with alcohol. Everyone knows about it. You can't, the day you open, you can't make it available pan-India because the entry cost to every state is huge. But we want our beer to be consumed by people from every state. And which is the state that people from every state come to? That is Goa.
Yeah,
So
the world,
it's
not just
the world. So it's the easiest way to get to the maximum amount of consumers from across the world from one state itself. Naming the product, definitely it was something to do with the fact that we were living here, but also we wanted our name to be something that people can relate to, and that is why we went with the word Maka. Maka means me in Konkani, which basically for us was like a reflection of the person drinking that beer. And we wanted the consumers to feel a sense of ownership. That's how we also came up with the styles of beer. The fact that we did extensive research for over 500 people, where we took their inputs as to what kind of beers would they like, and it was from different demographics, different age groups, different locations. People answering our questions online, which actually helped us out a lot to decide as to what consumers want. And we thought that let's start with 4 variants.
Our objective is different. We even want to take out the flavors that might be popular in like 0.1% of the crowd, because we want to appeal to everyone. We know not every flavor will appeal to everyone, but we know every flavor, there's at least one flavor for everyone. That's what we're going for. When the pandemic hit, our beer had not launched yet. We were actually in the setup phase of our brewing. But our kombucha brand had already launched by then. And we were still quite new in the market. I think it had been just 4 or 5 months or
6
so.
months.
6 months or so. And we were actually at that time only selling in Goa. And actually COVID was sort of a boon in disguise for our product, for kombucha, because that's when we realized that if we limit ourselves to just Goa, and now Goa is completely shut down, and at that time we had no e-commerce channels, nothing. So we really brainstormed together, and overnight we came up with an online order form so that we can, and got special permissions from the government to be able to deliver the product across just Goa at that moment. And we got the approvals, and it was an instant hit because there was nothing else available. We started getting hundreds of orders, which we started fulfilling across Goa, which is a model we had not done before. So first we went into that, where we started doing home deliveries. Then we realized, this home delivery model is really working. And then the people started posting about it and things like that. And we started getting orders from across the country. And at that time, we not figured out how to do pan-India delivery. But I was like, we cannot lose out on this revenue because we're getting all these orders from across the country. So then we worked for the next 1 month figuring out how to do pan-India deliveries, tying up with Amazon, starting our own e-commerce website. And we did all of that in a span of 1 month. And we suddenly became pan-India, and we were available throughout the country just through our e-commerce channels. And the moment that happened, we instantly started getting calls from distributors around the country that they want to start selling our product. So within 1 month of that, we started going into retail, and by that time retail started opening up again. So we were available for distribution over 10 cities in 1 month. So this 3 months, we kept adapting, and we were suddenly became a product that was just a niche small product in Goa to being a product that's available pan-India.